Hey guys, welcome back. Elsa the Bargain Hunting Crafter here. If you guys see tears in my eyes, that's because they're there. They're there. I tried to record the video and I started to until I got to one question and I lost it. So I'm gonna leave that question for the end of the video. This video is the answers to your questions, guys, and it might be a little bit long. So stay tuned. Hold on. If you really want to know about me, just hold on. So I'm gonna jump right into it because, like I said, I lost it. I was like 5-6 minutes into the video until and then this question came up, and I completely lost it. I started crying and I couldn't compose myself, and yeah, that happened. So let's get back into it because I don't want to bore you guys. And yes, I am wearing makeup, guys. It is my birthday. I can do this. So let's get into it. There was a few questions that I did get to, and the first one was my favorite TV show as a kid. That was easy. It was the Flintstones, Bullwinkle. I forgot the darn squirrel's name. Please let me know what his name was. And the first, my most favorite one was the Brady Bunch. They had 6 kids, and they found it to be a problem. My mother had 9 kids. My mother would have handled them kids like that in a heartbeat, eyes closed, no issues, no issues or nothing like that. So sorry guys, I'm trying to do both things at once. So I like watching that show because their trials and tribulations were nothing at all. My greatest memory as a kid, I don't have too many. Fortunately for myself, I don't remember the chemo. I don't remember the pain. I don't remember throwing up. I don't remember losing my hair. I don't remember none of that, guys. My memories, I would say I was 5, maybe 7 years old, living in the big, huge apartment complex that had a huge courtyard. And in that courtyard, we would play kickball, tennis against the wall. If we were playing by ourselves, we would play tennis against the wall, hardball, dodgeball. But in the summer, they would have block parties, and the block parties were amazing. Oh my god, I loved it. That's why I love my old school music, because I listened to it every summer. And we were young, so of course when the sun went down we had to come in. But we lived on the first floor, and the courtyard was behind it. So everybody was in the terrace area where our windows were at eye level. So everybody was hanging on the terrace area, hanging out. In the courtyard was the DJ and the food with the grills going with the food and stuff like that. So we still got to enjoy it. We just couldn't be in the crowd. So that was fun. That was fun. I loved it. My favorite meal. Now this question was asked several times. And I'm Puerto Rican. We Puerto Ricans, for special occasions, we cook the same darn thing. We make yellow rice with pigeon peas and roasted pork shoulder and a potato salad. Not mashed potatoes, potato salad. We do that for birthdays. We do that weddings, baby showers, reunions, everything. We do that dish. And to this day, I still do that. That's what I grew up on, and that's what I still do. That's what a lot of Puerto Ricans still do. And when I'm not going to a party, it's a family friend that's having the party, or whatever the case may be, they will call me. Elsa, can you make us a pork shoulder, or 2 or 3? We don't make just one for parties. We make 2 or 3, sometimes 4. When I have special occasions here, except for tomorrow, I make yellow, actually I might make the yellow rice tomorrow. I'll make yellow rice with pigeon peas and a pork shoulder. When I make a pork shoulder here and I say something to one of my nieces, my house gets full. Everybody's here. Everybody's here because everybody wants pork shoulder, and I love it. And that is my all-time favorite meal. Without the potato salad. I don't like the potato salad. I like mashed potatoes. So yeah. This is a question I'm going to skip because, yeah, I can't do that. Not right now. How do you manage family life and your crafty life? At first it was hard because I didn't have the privacy. When I first started my channel, I used to live somewhere else, and all I had was the kitchen table, the dining room table, and it was next to the kitchen. And then my daughter had one room and we had the other room, and you had to walk through. So every time I'm recording, you would see somebody, or I had to stop, or whatever the case may be. It got to the point where I said, I'm going to hang on the air sign before you enter the common area, because it was just getting horrible. But then moving here, it became easier, because when I first moved here, if you watch that video, I had the basement, which I never got to, I got to use, but I never got to do it. My craft room, my our daughter ended up moving out, and she now lives in New York, so I ended up getting her bedroom, which is this room, and it's a lot easier because now I have the door. But I've learned to put myself on a schedule. I try to keep my crafting going when I'm home alone and hubby's at work. When he comes home, depending on how bad I really need to do it, like it's a project that's due, or it's items that are going into my shop, because when I first started my shop, I was on it a lot, you know, crafting for it. But I try to keep myself on a schedule, like a job, you know. So I try my best from 9 to 5, literally. I craft. I wake up, I come in my room, I do my crafts. Hubby usually calls me when he's on his way home, just force a habit. We do that, you know, God forbid something happens on the way home, either to him or to me. We will communicate with each other. I'm on my way home. God forbid something happened along the way and he's running late and I start to worry, at least I know an idea of where he's at, because this is where he called me from last. So anyway, so because he calls me out when he's out of work and on his way home, I know how much time I have left. And I just crunch down time and do it that way. Weekends, it's a little bit harder, but sometimes he works the weekend, and it makes it easier, you know. So that's how I tend to manage that. My most used crafty item, do I have it here? Yes, I do. That question was asked a couple of times too. I love these from Dollar Tree. For fuzzy cutting, these are amazing. I love them. I love it. I love these, but this is my all-time favorite. Double-sided tape. This tape, I can do anything and everything with this tape, guys. And I get it at Amazon. I got 16 rolls for less than $11. Okay, so and the rolls, this has already been used. So this is not even what the roll looks like when it's not used. The roll itself has so much more than the one at Dollar Tree. And 16 rolls for less than $11. So yeah, that's a hot buy. Let me know if you guys want the link and I will give it to you guys. But I would say Amazon, double-sided tape all the way. I just restocked on that too. So, and I actually will be adding a roll in the prize winnings. Just FYI. That's coming up next too. If time, money, health, and ability had no limitations on what you want, what would be 3 things in the world you want to do if you can go shopping with... Okay, wait a minute. Okay, it's 2 questions. I didn't divide it. If time, money, health, and ability had no limitations on you, what would be the 3 things you would want to do? 3 things. Oh my God. I would like to spend the holidays, Christmas, in Puerto Rico. I would love to go there and just... I've heard that it's amazing, the holidays there. That's one thing I want to do. I would like to buy a vacation home in Puerto Rico, because that's just, oh, I would love that. It's amazing out there. And number 3, be healthier, live a healthier life, not have any complications anymore. I've been blessed so far. I feel amazing since the last surgery. I haven't suffered a headache. You can still see some of the bald spot, but not much of it. My energy every day is getting stronger and stronger. So I'm blessed with that. But I'm tired, guys. I'm tired of being sick, you know. And if I could have anything in the world, that would be my number one thing, is to not be sick anymore, other than the common cold and maybe a fever here or there, but that's it. I'm so tired. But it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. What can I do? If I could go shopping with any crafty friend, who would it be and where would you go? Now, that was not fair, but I'm going to answer it. I already have plans in the future to travel to different states, God willing. Once the pandemic is 100% gone. I don't know about you guys, but the numbers are rising here. Once the pandemic is 100% gone, I want to travel. In my travels, I want to include Georgia, Pennsylvania, Alabama, California, and of course New York. New York is 4 hours. I'm actually planning to go to New York in the next month, so that one's fine. Where would I go? Dollar Tree, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I would hit any and every store that sells craft items. I would hit those stores. Any thrift store. Oh my god, I would definitely hit thrift stores. I was watching a video, and oh my god, who was it? Oh, I forgot whose video was it. Anyway, they bought books for 10 cents each at the thrift store. So yeah, I want to go to that thrift store. Now I gotta find out what state that was in, because I want to go there. So anyway, I already have a list of where I need to go. They're set up in priorities, because if I don't go there first, I'm getting yelled at. So yeah, but I do plan to go to New York soon. As I mentioned, my daughter lives in the Bronx, and we're planning a trip. And I already told hubby, you go hang out with her, and I'm gonna go over here and hang out with the girls. There are several of my sisters that live in New York, and my understanding is Pennsylvania is not too far from New York, so I might even have my Pennsylvanians come over to New York and meet us, and we're just gonna hit all the craft stores. Why did I start my YouTube channel? I started my YouTube channel, it was actually hubby's idea. I've always been a thrifter. I've always been a bargain hunter. I've always done that. So I would watch YouTube videos to get the breakdowns on CVS, to get the breakdowns at Target, to see what's new at Dollar Tree, and so forth, so on. And my hubby goes, Elsa, why don't you just do what they're doing? You're always on there, and you seem like you're very entertained. So why don't you go ahead and do it? So when I started my YouTube channel, it was supposed to be CVS couponing type channel. It didn't necessarily work that way. Then I met you guys, and here I am. It went from supposedly couponing to Dollar Tree hauls to Michael's to crafting to project sharing to swaps to challenges to here I am. So yeah, I'm sorry guys. Where do you buy most of your clothes? So cute. It's exactly what she put on there. And can we see your favorite pair of shoes? Okay, you guys are not gonna believe this. The only thing I don't buy at a thrift store is clothes. I don't know why, I just don't. My daughter loves buying clothes there. But I do buy my clothes on clearance. I go to Rainbows. I go to Mad, that's the name of the store, the clothing stores here. There's a Rainbows, there's a Mad Rag. I go to Walmart. I go to Target. Now what I do is I buy at the end of the season. I own, I don't even know how many tank tops, because this is what I wear. I'm hot all year long. There's also a store called Primark in downtown Boston that I go to, and that's where I wait for end of season, and I pile up my clothes, my tank tops, my dresses, my sundresses. I'm wearing them all year long. And even if it's not the end of season, regardless, when I go to Walmart, I always hit the clearance section to check out the clothes. So that's basically what I just hit the clearance racks. Best time to hit them is after the season, like after Christmas, when I go clearance shopping for my craft items or my stockings for Christmas for the kids, because the kids get their stockings at the end of Christmas. They get their stockings full, they take it home, and then I'll buy new ones. Blah blah blah. I think they might have. Oh my God. Elijah's the oldest, and he at least has 7 stockings, because being the oldest. So by their age, they wouldn't have that many stockings at home. So while there, I'll check out the clearance rack. But you guys do not believe, I do not have a favorite pair of shoes. Believe it or not. And this is just who I am. I own one pair of flip-flops. I own one pair of house slippers. I own one pair of sneakers, one pair of shoes, and one pair of boots for the winter. This is all I own. One of each. And I'm okay with it. I'm not a trend follower. I don't wear heels anymore. I broke my ankle a few years back, and it's never been the same, so I'm too scared to wear heels. I used to, but not anymore. When we go dancing, which we're going next weekend, I think. When we go dancing, I prefer flats because I still have that problem with my ankle. So I only own 5 pair of shoes. 5 pair of footwear is all I own, because it's one of each. I don't need any more than that. I'm a very simple person. There might be times when you see some of the same shirts, and that's not because I don't have the clothes. That's just because I'm too lazy. My closet's full, and I'm just too I'll grab it right off the hanger. If I wear this today and I wash it tonight, there's a good chance you'll see me with it on Sunday, because it's probably easier to grab because I just washed it. It's on top of the clothes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. What is your dream vacation if you had all the money you want? Puerto Rico. I want to spend Christmas in Puerto Rico. That's what I want. That's all I want, is to spend Christmas in Puerto Rico. And that's going to be a long time there, because Christmas in Puerto Rico takes months for it to be over. What's your favorite? Okay, I answered that one, except my favorite dessert. Flan. Flan. How do you call flan in Spanish? Custard, I think it's called. I'm not sure what it's called, but I make a killer flan. I love flan. But I have to make it. If I was to not make it, I would say coconut cake, store-bought coconut cake, frozen store-bought coconut cake. Oh my god, it's my favorite. That is my all-time favorite. Now this one, last movie I went to, and what did I think? Girl, I do not know. I've been with hubby for 14 years. Maybe we went once. I'm not a movie theater fanatic. Back in the day, maybe, yeah. They had matinees. Nowadays, matinee, whatever you call them, cost more than the regular movie. Like, really, I can go buy this movie at the store. Oh, well, when I would buy movies at the store, the DVDs, and still pay less. And let's not even talk about the popcorn. The cost of popcorn and the soda, because the grandkids still go with their parents. But the cost of all of that, there's no way I can be a bargain hunter and go to the movies. It's impossible. And I wouldn't allow hubby to take me to the movies and pay that much money. I remember our first date, he tried to impress me, and he took me to a bar, and he paid $8 per beer. I was like, what are you doing? No, no, no. He's like, no, it's okay. I said, no, it's not okay. Because I was a drinker back then when we met. It's like, no, it's not okay. You know how many 6-packs we could buy with the money you're spending on one beer? So I was so upset that day. So yeah, I can't remember. I want to say the only one I can remember watching was when my kids were young, and you guys are gonna laugh. It was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Jim Carrey. And I actually stayed awake, because that's another thing. I can't stay awake at the movies. I had sleep issues back in the day, and I just can't stay awake. And I actually watched that whole movie. I think that's why I remember that one and that one only, because I actually stayed awake. I know. That's just me. Was I born in Puerto Rico? No, I wasn't. I was born and raised here. My parents were from Puerto Rico. My mother was from Juanadilla, and my father was from Ponce. And I've been to Puerto Rico at 50 years old. I've been to Puerto Rico. Supposedly, I've been to Puerto Rico twice. I went 6 years ago. My hubby fulfilled that dream for me to go to Puerto Rico. But according to my parents, my father had taken me to Puerto Rico when I was 3 months old. So that explains why I can't remember that trip. So I've been there twice. I only remember once, but I've been there twice. And I loved it when I went 6 years ago. Oh my God, it was amazing. Why did I start crafting? Because you guys got me into it. I loved seeing you guys' creations, and I wanted to give it a try. I give everything a try once, and it took me a while to find my mojo, but I found it, and I had fun. I'm having fun, and I started my own business for the same reason, to be able to share my projects. But this time around, I'm on disability, so I don't have much of an income, so every little bit helps, you know. So I figured, you know what, I'm doing this, I see everybody doing this, I'm gonna try this. And I have slowed down due to medical reasons, but I am gonna bring my shop back up, and there's a lot of new stuff coming up, so stay tuned for that. How many siblings do I have? How many do I have? Okay, I don't have any full siblings. Mom and dad got together, had me, and separated, had no more kids together. So all my siblings are half siblings. On my mother's side, I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. I am the middle child. I have 4 older, 4 younger. I am the middle of 9. On my father's side, I have 3 sisters. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, 11. So I have 11 siblings between mom and pops. But I was raised with my stepfather, and he had 2 older daughters. Now, out of respect to the family, we all considered, even my older siblings, my older siblings, they're from my mom's first marriage, and there was me, and there was my mom's last marriage. So even my older siblings gave that respect. And my stepfather has 2 daughters, and so I always say that I have 9 sisters. 7, 8, 9, yeah, it's 9 sisters and 4 brothers. We're a big family. We're a huge family. Right now, the count on my family is at over 50, maybe even over 60. I don't know. And we're expecting, we just had 2 born this year, and I think there's 2 coming up to be born. So yeah, the family just keeps growing. I am no longer Santa Claus. I'm not doing Santa Claus anymore, sorry. My favorite thing to eat or drink on cheat day. That's every day, sis. I cheat every day. I don't have a favorite drink other than water. I love my Kit Kats, my 3 Musketeers. I love chocolate. I love chocolate regardless. Kit Kat, 3 Musketeers, Snickers, you name it, I love it. So that would be but that's a cheat day every day. I just had a 3 Musketeers last night. So, and the guy was so funny. I said, I want a 3 Musketeers. A what? A 3 Musketeers. I pointed out to him. So he brings me 3 Musketeers. 3. I said, no, I want 1. They're called 3 Musketeers. It was hilarious. I was dying. Called hubby from the car. I was like, can you believe it? And I told him. What is my favorite go-to item? What is my favorite go-to craft item I can't live without? And that is my double-sided tape. This is I love this. I use this on cards, memory decks, cards, ATCs, pocket letters, everything, guys, everything. I use my double-sided tape. My double-sided tape and my phone tape. And my glue gun. Adhesive. I guess you could say adhesive is my favorite craft item. Because I use the double-sided tape to give it the 3-dimensional, but I always hot glue the tape so that it doesn't come out, you know. So adhesive, that's it. My favorite thing to craft and why? Memory decks cards. Those are my favorite because there's more space than an ATC, and I can create more on there, if that makes any sense. Cards are easy to make. You can do this, you can do that. But a memory decks card is my favorite craft item. My favorite thing to craft. Because I feel like there's a little bit more space to work in there, you know. And you can do one at any time. It doesn't really matter. So, so the question, the last question that got me, and I hope I can hold it together. Where do I draw my greatest strength to get through difficult times, such as my cancer? I got it from my mom. As a teenager, I suffered from depression. I was suicidal. Even after I had my kids. I had my kids. By the time I was 21, I had all 3 of my kids. I love my kids to death. And like I do now, I did then. But I still had that struggle, you know. I never went through with anything. But I still had those thoughts, those evil thoughts. When mom got sick, and then we got the call, I took her in, and mom was a fighter. Mom was a fighter to the very end. I took her in for a bad cough that just wouldn't go away. And they did the x-rays and everything. Then we got the call that it was a tumor, she had cancer, blah, blah, blah. And I had just been promoted to assistant manager in the store. I've always done retail. To the store that I was working at 2 weeks prior to getting the call. And I just got up and left. I was like, sorry guys, I can't do this. My mom needs me. You know, not that she asked me, not that I was the only one that could do it, but because I felt I wanted, I had to. Only thing I can remember from my childhood and going through cancer as a 2-year-old, all I had was the stories that mom told me and the struggles that she went through. Mom would tell me that she would walk every day to the hospital. At the time, we lived in the projects that was literally across the street from the whole hospital complex where all the universities, Northeastern, and all the big-time hospitals were at. She would walk every day to get my blood drawn. Because after the tumor was removed, my mom had to take me to the hospital. When the tumor was removed at 2.5 years old, my little sister was born. Long story short, mom managed to take care of a sick child, which was me, and still have 4 babies after that. Okay? And we're all 2 years apart. So I just turned 50, then I have a 48-year-old. The twins are 46 years old, and my little brother's 44 years old. Okay, so this is all while she's dealing with me. But I never caught on to that. So when mom got sick, I took her to her appointments, so forth, so on. Then it got to the point where she needed to be taken to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. If you're familiar with the hospitals here in Boston, the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute is one of the biggest hospitals that deal with cancer patients. I used to go there. Well, my mom used to take me there. But I went to the Jimmy Fund Clinic, which was the clinic that took care of juvenile cancer patients, infants, toddlers, you name it. You know, that's the clinic that I went to. So anyway, one time, the first time I took mom to her appointment, went in the garage, parked in a handicap, of course, went across the connector from the garage to the hospital. And as soon as we got out of the connector and walked into the hallway, the Jimmy Fund Clinic was right there. I didn't know this. Because they had moved it. It was downstairs on the first level. They had moved it a couple of stories up. So when I walked through the hall, through the connector, and I went through the thing, all I could see was the paintings that were in the Jimmy Fund Clinic centuries ago. And it just hit me. It hit me, and I said, now I know why I'm here. As soon as I walked into that hallway, that corridor, I seen my mom pushing me. Back then, there were big wooden beds with wheels. Instead of wheelchairs, they were big wooden beds. And my mom would push me down those halls. I remember because of the paintings. Well, except they were downstairs. She would push me down the halls. She would take me to get my blood drawn. She would take me to chemo. She would take me... I remember waiting in the waiting room to be seen by my oncologist and playing the pinball machines and playing with the toys. And now I was doing it for my mom. And that day in particular, a nurse walks out of the Jimmy Fund Clinic. I look at her. She looks at me, but then she looks at my mom. And then she looks at me again. She goes, Elsa? And I was like, no. It was the same nurse that took care of me when I was a toddler. So she must have been very young. I remember her. She was the sweetest, sweetest person. And she looks at me. She remembered my name. And she goes, Elsa? And I said, yeah. And then she looked at Mom. She's like, and then she looked back at me, because at this point, Mommy had already started her chemo. And she looks back at me and she goes, no. I said, yeah. So, yeah, my mom gave me the strength that I needed to be here for my kids. I hate that she had to get sick for me to realize that I can do this. I can fight. And she did it for me. I did it for her. And I gotta keep fighting for my kids. So yeah, I thought I was gonna keep it together. That didn't work, did it? Guys, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys stuck along. Love you guys. Bye.